If you're into K-pop or have been into K-pop, you have very likely come across this inside joke that Jimin from BTS and Jonghyun from Twice have some kind of beef between them. But how did this inside joke even come into existence, and most importantly, is there any sort of truth behind it? Well, to get to the bottom of this, we first need to learn how and when the joke started. The thing is, this didn't originate from one particular event, but a series of events which are mostly spread over 2017. During that time, fans started noticing that whenever Twice and BTS were in the same room or venue for like a music show or some award like KBS or Melon Music Awards, Jimin and Jeongyeon would always be giving weird looks to each other. And this is not just a one-off event either. You can just go on YouTube and search Jimin and Jeongyeon and you will find endless videos and compilations of both of them giving weird looks and just being funny towards each other. However, at this point, this joke was still quite niche and mostly between the fans of BTS and Twice. What made this joke into a mainstream K-pop thing is when a massive K-pop channel called Smooth is Good posted this video. It went insanely viral in the K-pop community. Everyone was talking about what's happening between Jimin and Jeongyeon. The video has gained over 3 million views till date, which is almost equal to the comeback of a small K-pop group. And this video is what I believe, after doing some research, is the reason for this joke going mainstream in K-pop and becoming a massive inside joke among all K-pop stans. This joke has been so popular that it's been 7 years and people still make memes about it and get a lot of likes and views as well. It's kind of insane. Now that we know how the joke originated, let's get to the more interesting part, and the part everyone's been waiting for. Why did Jimin and Jeongyeon give those weird looks to each other in the first place? This is not an easy question to answer because, first of all, we will never know. We can only speculate. I myself have some theories and also borrowed some from other people. I'll put up the theories in this video one by one and you decide what you think might be the case. I am starting with this theory because it's the stupidest one. It's definitely not true, but for some reason, I have seen it everywhere. I have seen it on TikTok comments, I have seen it on Instagram, I have even seen it on Reddit and Twitter. This theory is so widely spread among the fans. And according to it, Jimin and Jeongyeon went to the same middle school, and that's where the fallout between them started. It might have been a fight, or it might have been something else. That part is left open for interpretation. But the basic gist of the theory is that Jimin and Jeongyeon don't like each other because something happened between them when they were in middle school. Now let me tell you why this theory is 100% not true at all. See, Jimin went to school in Busan, and according to what Jeongyeon has said in interviews, she spent her entire childhood and teen years in Seoul. So there is absolutely no way they somehow went to the same middle school. It's just not possible. I don't know why this is even a theory because it makes no sense at all, but I had to cover it because, as I said, it's so widely spread among the K-pop fans. Anyways, let's move on to the next theory, which seems a bit more plausible. I don't think I need to explain anything about this theory because the name of the theory itself tells you everything you need to know. As you may have already guessed, the theory basically says that Jimin and Jeongyeon dated for a while and the relationship was not a good experience, which eventually led to a bad breakup, hence why they roll their eyes or act weird whenever they're in the presence of each other. Now the question is, do I believe in this theory? Not really. The only part of this theory which kind of makes sense is that K-pop idols mostly date other K-pop idols. They're from the same industry and they grew up in the same environment, so they understand each other's priorities and problems better. That is why it's not unbelievable to me that a member of BTS would date a member of Twice. But Jimin and Jeongyeon dating and then going through a messy breakup does not make sense to me. And let me tell you why. I went through a messy breakup myself, and if you're watching and you went through the same, you will understand that people who experience bad breakup will never act the way Jimin and Jeongyeon do towards each other. These two are rolling their eyes, smirking, and even smiling at each other's antics. I am sorry, but that is not how people who went through bad breakups act. If I was in a room with my ex, I would never roll my eyes or smirk. Instead, I would give my absolute best to pretend that they don't exist at all. This theory was definitely made by someone who has never been in a serious relationship, and that also explains why it's so popular, because K-pop fans are mostly teenagers. So no, I don't think there is any validity in this theory, but you know, it's a fun thing to think about. I mean, the idea that Jimin and Jeongyeon dated sounds very funny in my head. Anyways, let's move on to the next theory, which is my personal favorite. This is definitely the most popular theory and also the funniest one. I tried but couldn't really find when or who exactly came up with this theory, but it has spread like wildfire among K-pop fans. So much so that every time you open a reel or video about this Jimin and Jeongyeon meme, you will always find hundreds of comments mentioning Vernon or just posting a picture of Vernon, and it's so funny, it gets me every time. According to this theory, Jimin and Jeongyeon both had a crush on Vernon, and this is what caused them to dislike each other. I find it so hilarious because it's so random, like who even came up with this? But for some reason, it's everywhere. Now, is there any significant proof for this theory? No, not really. I looked it up and even asked people who believed in this Vernon theory for some proof, and the only thing I found is award show performances where either Jimin is enjoying 17's performance or Jeongyeon is cheering for 17's performance. That's not proof that any of them have a crush on Vernon. If enjoying someone's performance means you have a crush on them, then literally all the K-pop idols have a crush on each other, which is, you know, a crazy thing to think about. But you know how insane K-pop shippers can get. So do I think there is any sort of truth in this theory? No. But do I think it's absolutely hilarious and entertaining? Yes. As you may have already guessed by the title of this theory, it basically says that Jimin and Jeongyeon are friends, or at least know each other from somewhere before, and they're just playing around. Now, out of all the theories which came before in this video, I think this is the most believable one because, you know, idol friendships are very common in the industry, and the way Jimin and Jeongyeon act towards each other seems very much like two friends teasing or making fun of each other. And I find this theory somewhat plausible because I tease my friends a lot and they tease me a lot as well. So this kind of playful banter between two friends is something I've experienced and grown up with. Hence why Jimin and Jeongyeon acting that way towards each other, because they are friends, kind of makes sense to me. Also, there are tons and tons of videos of Twice and BTS being cordial and friendly with each other. So the idea that Jimin and Jeongyeon might be friends seems very plausible to me. But the theory which is the most believable to me about this Jimin and Jeongyeon inside joke is the next one. So let's move on. This is not a theory to me because I believe this is the actual case and this is the truth. There is nothing going on between Jimin and Jeongyeon. No toxic relationship, no same crush, no Vernon, no messy breakup, and no special friendship. Everyone is overthinking and overanalyzing things. This whole joke started because Jimin had some funny expressions when Jeongyeon was singing or saying something, and Jeongyeon also had some funny expressions when Jimin was talking or performing or doing something else. People have been fooled by zoomed camera angles and clips which are slowed to oblivion. The fact that Jeongyeon is rolling her eyes when Jimin is doing something, or Jimin is smiling when Jeongyeon is doing something, is most likely a coincidence. Obviously, they won't have a blank face when a fellow artist is performing. They will obviously express some kind of emotion, but when you zoom 1,000 times onto their faces, add some kind of background music according to your narrative, it becomes very easy to make someone believe in something which is not true at all. And most K-pop fans know this. They treat this as a joke and understand that there is nothing going on between Jimin and Jeongyeon. But there are some fans who believe in that. And I believe it's just because of some fans and shippers overanalyzing things. People know very well how crazy K-pop shippers can be. This joke is still absolutely hilarious though. And it's crazy that it's still so relevant in K-pop spaces. But no, I personally don't believe that there is anything that happened or is still going on between Jimin and Jeongyeon. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have some other theory or still believe that there is definitely something going on between Jimin and Jeongyeon, definitely comment why do you think so, because I would actually love to read it. And yeah, see you guys in the next video.